Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai Ba'Shem Kakodash, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakodash. Now with thun kal halalyam la Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakodash. Wa shalom to the elect out there. Hopefully elect out shalom. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, and this is pretty much based upon this video here. It's not going to be a long video. It'll be a snippet. But the name of the title of the video is Out of Thy Belly Shall Flow Rivers of Living Water. So I didn't watch this whole video, but I caught the thumbnail. It had like a superhero villain, whatever, on the thumbnail. So I said, let me click on it. So it says the title is No Snippet, right? Snippet is a piece of something. Like a new song, a movie comes out, like a preview to a movie, right? Or they call it teaser, a teaser. They'll take the most exciting parts of the movie and they kind of put it inside of 30 seconds and it gets you excited to go to that movie, which is a snippet or a series of snippets, like scenes from a movie is a snippet. No snippet ministry. I really didn't know what he meant, where he was going with this. The Stand, and Bizarro Demons, which I didn't get to this part, but I was going to the snippet part. And basically, he was saying the elder Manata Zakbar, as he goes by, aka the Rebukenator, he was getting on somebody. He didn't mention who it was. He just put it out there in the air that there's guys, and I've seen this too, where you got guys that call themselves doing the work, and a lot of times they'll take videos from other brothers and put it on their pages, or they'll go out for maybe 20 minutes and speak. You know, the spirit's not with you. You know, we go out on Saturdays. I mean, it's winter. It's been to this point in time. It's been a somewhat mild winter. Not too many cold days. Just seasonable. Cold, not super cold, like it was maybe 2 years ago or a year ago. But we got the rest of February, and then we got 2 weeks in March. Anyway, I believe Saturday it's going to be super cold, so we may not go out. That's a new rule. If it's just blistery cold out there, you're fighting against the elements, the wind. So we'll see. I'm not going to put too much of a burden on these guys. Guys going in the car, getting warmed up for 15, 20, 10 minutes or so, coming back out, and wind coming and the sign blowing out of the way, but we'll see. But anyway, but that doesn't excuse you from taking the day off. You get with the various brothers that you get with, that you live close to. Me, the apostles will come down. But let's see what the weather. They said it's going to be like 15 degrees. So we'll see. If it's cold but it's not windy, it's good. You can deal with the cold. But if it's windy, like a couple of weeks ago, it was real windy and it was cold, and the 12 tribe sign we got messed up because it kept blowing all over the place. So the bishop Sakaran had to fix it back up and so forth. But we'll see. But anyway, if I go out there, our thing is to do 3 hours, sometimes 2.5, anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours. When it gets warmer, we'll be out there sometimes 3.5, 4 hours. because you got people stopping and talking, so you get caught up with the time. You lose track of time because if you got people asking you questions and little mini debates break out, like for example when Vocab Malone rolled up on us, we was out there for, I believe, we've been out there for about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours or so, and he rolled up, and so he was out there with us for another about 2 hours. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we did. I know we did more than 3 hours, well over 3 hours. We did 3.5, maybe 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So when it starts to warm up and it's seasonable and it's still daytime, we'll stay out. And then another thing that we did last year, we had the after camp class, which sometimes we're out there for maybe we want to be out there for half an hour. Sometimes we're out there for 45 minutes. Sometimes we're out there for an hour. So we'll throw out a question. What does this scripture mean? Break this down. Do a topic on this, and then you get 3 brothers, and then it'll get the mind flowing, the blood and the brain, the gray matter working, because there's always lessons. There's lessons within lessons. So now anybody that does a 5-minute video or 10-minute video, or he goes out there, by himself, and he's out there, or with a crew, he's out there for 20 minutes or half an hour. I mean, do you love what hey, what's that song by Shaka Khan? It was either Shaka Khan or Rufus, but I believe it was Shaka Khan, if I'm not mistaken. But it could have been Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. And the song, I believe the title was "Do You Love What You Feel?" That's a bad cut. That's a bad cut. Matter of fact, I'm gonna listen to it right after I finish this video. Matter of fact, I'm gonna close this video right now and listen to it. Nah, just joking. But that was that song. That was the song, man. Do you love what you feel? That's a topic right there. You gotta want to live, my man Washington from the Boys of Company C. You gotta want to live. You gotta love what you feel. Do you love what you feel? Because if you love it, you meet a chick, right? And you go out with a chick and you set up the day. We all did this. You set up the day. We're gonna go to the park, and then we're gonna go get something to eat. Then we're gonna go check out a movie. And I'll say, wait a minute, baby. I'll go get a rose, give her a rose. So this is a woman that you first get with. Then you wind up, in your house, and and you love the fact that you're with her, and she loves the fact that she's with you. You may not be in love with her, but you're going down the road of love. Was that People Pricing, all kinds of songs are coming up. On the Wings of Love. That's another cut. Do you love what you feel? And On the Wings of Love by People. I believe that was People Pricing. It was either People Pricing or and it wasn't People Pricing. It was this guy. I can picture his face. I can't think of his name, but I got his album somewhere. Damn, I can't think of the dude's name. But that's a bad song. So when you get with a woman, and that, you into her, she's into you, everything flowing, you're going out places. You even had women that, you see the woman, she's from a far distance, she start running at you, like them, them movies and the TV shows where you see 2 people run at each other. But in real life, that doesn't happen, because when they do that, you're worried about whether they slip and bust their lip or something like that. So anyway, when you're into this truth, you got to be on the wings of love. And do you love what you feel? And if you love what you feel, hey, when that song opener, the first lyric was ah. I'm bugging. That was that means Chaka Khan gonna get down. Yeah, Chaka Khan. I love Chaka Khan. Even when she was on the what do you call that, the verses, she was high, but I said, man, I said, look, if I went there and I paid money, I wouldn't ask my money back. I said she just happened to come in high on something. Anyway, you got to be high on this. You got to be high on this truth. You got to love this truth. And the scriptures speak about out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. When you look those words up, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I did. I said, let me see what the Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges have to say. And they were right on point. It says, this is St. John 7, verse 38, Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges. As the scripture have said, this phrase undoubtedly refers to the words that follow, but in as much as no such text is found in scripture, some have tried to force the phrase into connection with what precedes, as if the meaning were he that believeth on me in the way that the scriptures prescribe. Although the exact words are not found in scripture, there are various texts of similar import. So I read these. These are all on point. These are all on point. Isaiah, what is that? Isaiah 44, verse 3. For I will pour water on him that is thirsty. What does that mean? That's parabolic. That's poetic for the ones that get this truth are the ones that look for the truth, but the Most High puts the Spirit on you to seek for the truth. See, I was looking for truth. I said, I'm on a journey to look for truth. This was right after I broke up with this chick, and I said, I ain't gonna deal with no more women until I find truth. So I wasn't thinking about women. I was just looking for the truth. And the truth was being an Israelite. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little story, right? When I came in, the Yahweh Ben Yahweh was out all over. They was all in New York. They used to wear the white robe, no fringes on it. And they would give out literature and stuff. So I said, oh, that's another Israelite group. But they were like a bigger group, more established group. And but I was also listening to my high priest Mashal Ariyah on the street in Cheyenne M7. And I said, well, these are two different groups, but they have different way, they're different. I said, these guys in Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, they're not on the corners teaching. Then you had the Ansarut Allah community Muslims, which they were all over the place, selling, you would get your incense and your oils and they didn't sell bean pies. That was Nation of Islam. They would sell the bean pies, and which were good, great. Bean pies and sweet potato pies. Yeah, man. Yeah, baby. But anyway, I'm bugging. And anyway, they would sell the Final Call newspapers, which I would always buy. I would always buy it for, they wear the suit. And I said, let me get one. Okay, brother, for $1. I don't know how much it is now, but there will be good articles in there. But I was on my journey for truth. And like I said, I grew up in a family that my parents were practicing Hebrew Israelites, but they were from a different. What's the name of that group? I don't see them no more. They were from a different group, and they were located out of. They had a school in Mount Vernon. I forget. Anybody know? And I remember I went there after I came into the truth. I went there and I sat down, and the teacher was teaching, right? But the knowledge that I knew, I started blurting out the knowledge that I knew, and everybody, the attention came on me. But I came more of a hardcore thing, more prophetic, hardcore. And there was an old Jake sitting next to me, and he said, "Man, this man right here is speaking some wisdom. Keep speaking, brother." Then I remember I met another brother. He was just a Hebrew. All he did was taught Hebrew. And he knew the Hebrew. That Jake, he could speak to small hats and all that. Now, see, this guy, Vocab Malone, that demon Vocab Malone, which he's necessary, he's necessary. He helped push this truth. He's what do you call it, emissary, if I'm saying that right. But we had a brother, Shalimar. That brother shot up. He was better than High Priest Arian in Hebrew, because he was raised up in a Hebrew family. He was able to speak the ancient Hebrew, then he could switch up and speak to them small hats. I mean, he was fluent in the Hebrew. He was fluent in the Hebrew. He wasn't all that deep in the scriptures, like the prophetic scriptures and stuff, but he was fluent in that Hebrew. So I'm reading these precepts, right? It says, for I will pour out water on him that is thirsty. That's ones that's looking for the truth, and floods on the dry ground. I will pour my spirit on your seed and my blessing on your offspring. And that's when the kingdom comes. Ultimately, the water is going to pour on all of us. So when we teach and we're in the spirit, that's that water flowing out of us. Out of thy belly shall flow rivers of living water. That's what the woman at the well was all about. In John 4, he said, if you drink this water, you shall never thirst again. What he was talking about was this truth. It says, and Yahweh, this is Isaiah 58:11. And I wanted to make this short, but it's going to be a little long. It says, and Yahweh shall guide you continually. Now, how is he guiding you? He's guiding you through the teachers. We are the teachers. In Matthew 10, the Lord said that I'm the master, but you're going to be like the master. You're going to be in my spot. So we are the masters. We are doorkeepers. The door is Yahweh Shai, but we are the doorkeepers. We guide you through the right. This is the right door, brother. Come on in. And we bring you into our mother's house and give these spiced wine and satisfy your souls in drought. What is drought? You got all these stumbling blocks. You got the Kemetic thing, you got the Christianity thing, you got the Islamic thing, you got the Moorish thing. You got all these different ways of life. So that's the drought, because you don't have truth. You're really thirsty. And make fat your bones, and you shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters fail not. Meaning, this truth keeps flowing. Why do you think Bruce Lee said, be like water, my friend? Bruce Lee had to be an Israelite. Zechariah 13, verse 1. Give me a second here. Okay, the elder Pashai, I was watching some of the video, most of it. He was going into a video entitled China Mac is a Jake, something to that effect. So I was watching it. Then I started going to videos of China Mac, and China Mac got a Jake spirit. We'll find out in due time. Is it possible that he's a Jake? Yeah, it's possible. Remember, we were scattered all over the place. Anyway, Zechariah 13:1. Let's see what that says. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David, which is the elect, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, which is the elect, for sin and for uncleanness. Now, what does that mean, for sin and for uncleanness? What is a fountain? A fountain cleans you, right? You're dirty, you go to a fountain or a shower and you clean yourself. What do you clean yourself of? Of sins and uncleanness, meaning you're going to be changed. That's the real new covenant. The new covenant is going to come in when the change comes. Now, when you read the rest of that, you read what the third, fourth verse, it speaks about they shall not wear a rough garment to deceive. And that's what a lot of these other guys, a lot of these new guys that came after them was these guys are not a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that they're sincere, but they should have came in through the straight gate. They should have came through the door, and we are the doorkeepers. You got to come through us. I was watching, and I put it on my video, my channel. What channel? The Elders in Transit 3. I put the whole video that this guy Sakari versus what's his name, Believers of the Way, and the guy from the head of the Believers of the Way. I said, this guy's on a low level, man. This guy's on a real low level because he didn't understand the MOTB, and then he wanted to leave. He said, well, I got a class to do, we can get together. But then when the subject changed about eating unclean meats, he was there. So that was fucking bullshit, man. He said the heat was getting to him. That's why he wanted to leave. But he made a statement, and I'm gonna do a snippet video on that, a short video on that. Well, the snippet is part of a larger video, but I'm gonna do a short video on the lake of fire because Deacon Hakar asked him, what is the lake of fire? And basically he didn't know. So he's doing a lot of mumbling. Oh, maybe you can. So you have no business teaching. You have no business teaching. Zechariah 14:8. And it shall be in that day coming that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem. And that's the law. The whole world gonna learn the law. Half of them toward the former sea, and half to them toward the hinder sea. What is that talking about? That's talking about our land. You're gonna have the Euphrates on one side. You're gonna have the Red Sea behind you. So a part of that land, Saudi Arabia, that's our land. Saudi Arabia all the way up to the north where Jerusalem is. Toward the sea in summer and winter shall it be. In other words, they're going to be learning the laws all year round. But none of them contain the very remark expressed out of his belly. The belly represents you. So when you go to John 7:38, it says, out of his belly shall flow, the word flow, rivers. One of the words, I'm not going to go to it. The word is torrent. A torrent is a rushing water that if you jump in the water, it's just going to take you away. It's going to just take you down the river. Like a torrent would be like a waterfall. A waterfall comes down and it flows hard. Anything that goes in, it's going in that direction. It says rivers of living water. The Greek word rivers stands first with strong emphasis. Rivers out of his belly shall flow. Rivers. So if the Most High opens your mind to this truth, you're not going to take breaks. You're not going to take breaks. You got a lot of guys that came into this thing and they do disappearing act. You don't see them for like 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, 6 months. They take time off. You don't see them for a year, then all of a sudden when it gets warm, they come out. They ain't make no videos. The Most High clearly ain't dealing with you, man. Because it says, out of his belly, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Hey, look, these waterfalls and these rivers that flow in a hard manner, you can't stop it. You can't stop it, man. It says, in marked contrast to the, I don't even know what that, I got to look that up, of water poured each day during the feast. He that believeth on me is, of course, a stage far in advance of if anyone thirsts. Right, the believing part, when you become rooted and grounded, a man may thirst for spiritual satisfaction and yet not end in believing in the Messiah. You might look for the truth, but the truth ain't looking for you. But the believer, the one that's grounded and settled in this thing, cannot end in satisfying his own thirst. He at once becomes a font of whence others may derive refreshment. We become teachers. Whether he wills to be a teacher or no, the true believer, that's the word believer, Israelite believer, cannot fail to impart, to teach the spirit of true truth to others. You might have come into this thing, you watch a couple of videos, yeah, no big deal. But then somehow you're compelled to watch the videos and you get deeper in it and deeper, and then you want to join a camp, then you become a reader, then you become a teacher, then you become a leader. All right? We don't got to check these guys. We don't got to check these other guys from the other states. They just doing the work. We don't got to check, call them, how you doing, brother? You know, because the spirit's on them. Now there's certain guys that the spirit is not on them, and it's going to come back to us any damn way. Anyway, I want to make this short. You know what I'm going to do? Yeah, let me close this. I'm going to do another video.